Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right, we're back with another one. Sorry, I've been away for a few days, just been really busy lately. I'm getting ready for this trip to go to Puerto Rico next week and just been trying to make sure I have everything lined up so when I go, I could really enjoy myself out there. But, so this video is gonna be more about a how to trade video. And so I had somebody reach out to me and they were like, well, why don't you have any how to trade videos? And I was like, that's a great point. So, like I said, we're on this journey together. And again, if you guys have anything that you want me to make a video on, any chart or just look up a stock, I have done it. I have spoken about them when the request is made. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get into this chart. Before I do, actually, if you guys can, please hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I want to grow the channel and keep giving you guys content, So, right here, guys, this is the Bitcoin chart. We're on a weekly time frame. So this is TradingView in case you guys don't know. Right here, the W stands for the weekly, and this is the buy and sell price of Bitcoin, right? So if you want to buy right here, then you would be taking what's called a long position. If you wanted to sell right here on TradingView, then that's what's called a short position. All right, so short position, you guys are betting the stock is going to go down. All right, you're saying, hey, this is a good price. This is a good area that I think the price can continue to go down from. All right, or if you buy a long, you're buying a long saying, hey, this is a price and this is an area that I think the price could go higher from. All right, and so I'm gonna be showing you guys support levels, resistance levels, but also how to kind of look back at a chart and gain some sort of context clues in a way. All right, so no chart does exactly the same as what it's done before, but we can look back at the chart from previous months, weeks, days, or years and just see what it did do and how it did bounce and where it kind of went from there, if it did bounce or if it didn't. And we could kind of gain conclusions which can help with our trades and can help with our conviction plays as to what's going to happen next. So right here again, guys, I'm on a weekly time frame. Bitcoin is currently trading at 65,180, right? And so if we look at Bitcoin and what it's been doing since October, right, where we peaked, we've been just in this downtrend, constant downtrend, right? Lower lows, and we really haven't been able to break out of it. We're currently sitting on a massive psychological area of support. You see it even came down a little bit, right, from 58. And we've been hanging out in this area because this area is extremely crucial because this was the previous cycle's top. Well, I guess we're going into a new cycle now technically. So this is the previous cycle's top. And so this is such a massive level because this is where it peaked. So to lose this area, if we ended up losing this area, a lot of sellers would recognize that because everybody's looking at that and we would be pushed down. And so the next level of support beyond the 58, 59,000 range really would be somewhere in this $52,000 range. Okay, so we're always looking for the next level of support. And so what does support mean, right? So support is really, you can look at the chart and see where did it bounce and then reverse in price. And so that's kind of what you're looking for key levels of support, because stocks typically hit support even if it's a small baby bounce and they don't fully recover. They typically come to levels and they can recover or they could have a little baby bounce, right? Like in this scenario, kind of like here. And then it came up and then it came back down again to really test the support, but it got real close right here. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for areas that the price came down to and it bounced and it reversed. Even if it reversed for a little bit of a baby bounce, that's okay. But we are looking for those levels. And those are levels where we're looking to take trades, long positions, meaning we're saying, hey, we're betting that the stock is going to go up. So I'm going to buy the stock right now. And yeah, that's essentially what you're trying to do. So if we end up losing this area that we're at right now, and we came back down to that 58,000 level, right? 58, yep. Then we're headed down to the $52,000, $53,000 range. And then again, if you guys wanted to, you could look at the next level of support, which is right here, right? So you have 47,500. And so why is this a level of support, right? So you come over here, you see this little wick of a candle, it got rejected here, meaning that at this particular time, this support became resistance. There was a lot of sellers. Cool. And then now you even have a long candle right here that wicked down and essentially touched this range. Cool. So this does act as a level of support. I would say this level of support is a little bit stronger, right? But still, this is a level of support. We even had a massive candle back in 2021 where it came down here and it reversed. Well, it didn't reverse, but it touched it, and then the next day it reversed, or next week it reversed. I'm sorry. So if we ended up losing that range, this range right here would be about 44,000. And then you're talking about if you lose that range, you got a little bit of baby support somewhere around this 37 range, 37,000 range, but this is a key level of support at that 30K range. So now that I've shown you a few levels of support, I also want you guys to understand that support is never usually a single number. I have seen times where the chart has come down to almost the same number to the exact cent, but for the most part, it's a range. And so I want you guys to really look at the support levels more as a rubber band. Okay, look at it as a rubber band that, hey, if we came down here to 47, that's not the number it needs to hit. It could push down a little bit to 45.65, especially on a crypto or a stock like Bitcoin that it has massive volatility, and then it could just reverse, right? So imagine a rubber band. Imagine you have something and you're pulling the rubber band back. That's the stock coming down. The rubber band's being pulled back. The stock's coming down. The stock's coming down. For eventually, the rubber band can't stretch down anymore, and then it has to propel itself forward, right? So that's kind of what we're looking for, and we're looking for areas where that really happened. We really would like to buy in those areas where the stock has been so oversold and pushed down so much that it has no choice, ideally, but to reverse, or it's just a very good area for it to reverse, right? So, sorry, I was drinking a Celsius. I'm drinking a Celsius, guys. I'm a huge Celsius fan. I'm a Celsius addict, I'm not gonna lie. All right, cool. So now what can we see from this chart currently and the previous cycle's chart? And this is why I went to the weekly time frame, because I really wanted to get rid of all that chop, and I really wanted it to be as precise and as focused as possible as to what it is I'm trying to show you. So over here, we kind of came down, right? We had one leg. I wouldn't even consider this a leg. We had one massive flush, one leg, came down again, two legs. Let me do this. Where was it? Trend line. Yeah, I just use the trend line thing for right now. So we kind of came down and we pushed, right? So this is a massive bear flag. That's one leg. And then we pushed down again, but the push down wasn't as crazy. I'm just highlighting this so you guys could kind of see what it is that I'm looking at and what conviction I'm trying to draw from it. Okay. Oops. Boom. And boom. Alright, so let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. We have one massive sell-off here. Boom. Came down again, consolidated, pushed down. Came down again, consolidated, pushed down until we finally had our last leg down, right? And then we had our reversal candle and Bitcoin never looked back. So what can we draw from that that is similar to what we're seeing here? So you guys guessed it. We have a flush down. We have those same blue lines that we have here, right? This is a bear flag. That push down, that's one. Kind of similar, right? Pretty similar outside of this small little baby chop right here. Other than that, it was a pretty big flush down. So same thing here, very massive flush down. Next leg down, right here after the flush down. Again, kind of similar, right? Like a little bit smaller than the flush down here, and this flush down is a little bit smaller than this one right here, in my opinion. It might be about the same percentage drop. This one looks like it's a little bit larger of a percentage drop to me, to be honest. And then now we have another one kind of forming, right, where this is more of a bear pennant. Still same thing, still very bearish. And we're on that third leg down, it looks like, right? So we'll probably flush down again. Probably not going to hold this as support. Anything can happen. This is still a massive area of psychological support for this stock or for this crypto, for this coin, whatever it is you guys want to say. And to be honest, that 50, so the 52 to 40, I'm gonna give it a pretty big range. I'm gonna give it the 44 to 52 range. Could be that last leg down where we come down to 52 and we kind of do something like this where we sell off. And let me highlight it for you guys. Right? We sell off. Cool. And then so we sell off, we come up here, we come to the top of this range maybe, and we do something like this. Come down to that 40, we have a 52. Let's say we come down to the 52 range. All right, we could have maybe a little bit of chop right in here, and then a little bit of chop, and let me do, honestly guys, I forgot how to draw the squigglies on this thing. There we go. A little bit of chop, and we come down again. All right, I'm just trying to like paint a picture here. Right here, and then we have a support in here, and it could be something very similar to where we broke. You see, we broke for our last flag down, and we didn't go too much further, right? It was only about another $10,000 drop, which doesn't sound like a lot. Well, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot now, but at that time, it was almost about, it was probably about another 40% from here. So assuming Bitcoin has another 40% drop, okay, from the 65,000 level, 66, 67,000 level, 40% would be about $13,000, right? Oh wait, am I right on that? No, I am wrong. I'm sorry. 40% on that would be about $25,000. You know what, guys? Let me just pull out the calculator real quick, just to make sure that I am right with that second. Yeah, so about 20, 25, $26,000. So from current price, you're talking about a $40,000 Bitcoin. Now it doesn't have to be that, right? It could be 38%, it could be 45%, it could be another 50%. I know a lot of 4-year theorists are waiting for this. A lot of people are waiting for 30,000. It can still happen, anything's possible, but 4-year theorists are saying that Bitcoin should bottom in October. So again, guys, we're running out of time. We're going towards the middle of August already. It's the middle of August. I mean, you're talking about there's about 6 weeks left. Okay, so anyways, anything can happen. But we'll get into that in another video. So again, I'm not trying to predict where Bitcoin is gonna go. I'm just trying to show you levels that it would go and where we would get a potential bounce, right? So even if we came down there, there's going to be some bounce. It doesn't have to be a big bounce. It could be a little baby bounce, and where it kind of just does the same thing as it does, right? It could do something like this, where it just has a little bit of a baby bounce for a week, and then it does flush lower. Anyways, so I kind of just wanted to give you guys an idea of how to look at charts, how you can take previous information, apply it to modern day charts, like the present day chart, I should say, not modern day, the present day. And let me just get rid of all this stuff for you guys. And so you could kind of just look at all that and draw a conclusion from it, you know, gain some sort of conviction. And that's how you guys would take a trade, right? Based off of reading previous levels where the chart has been and what it's done there. Because there's chances, right, that, for example, when Bitcoin came here and people had long positions, not every long position got filled, right, at 52K. And so it could be a support where we do get that baby bounce and then just flush lower, or it could be the point where we reverse. Regardless, doesn't matter. We're not here to predict that right now. All right, so that's kind of how you guys take a long position. Well, not kind of. That is how you guys take a long position. I wanted to show you guys how to look at a chart, look at the levels of support, understand that they're not just a line. It's a range, okay? So like it's a little bit of a range. Candles, you know, they can exaggerate a little bit, and institutions love to have them exaggerate, because the reason is if ever they know all of retail is looking at this. For example, let's say that they know all of retail is looking at 52,000, and everybody who's in a $52,000 long is going to have a stop loss at, like, with the smallest break under, maybe at like around 50,000 or 49,000, right? But then there's a level of support at 48, right? So the people who took the longs here, they're risking $4,000, right? I mean, you know, it depends on the risk to reward ratio, but yeah, I mean, for them to take that trade and to keep holding and then to lose 48 even, it's just going to be way too much risk. So they know that, so they would love to come to 52, give a little baby bounce, touch 48, and then reverse. Or come down to 48, touch 45, and then reverse. Or, you know, because they are looking at the stop losses, that they know where your stop losses are, right? And it's not that they're trying to, they don't really care if you make money or not. They're just looking for money, right? They're looking for liquidity. They want to add money to their positions. They want to, essentially, they want to get you out of your position so that they could buy your shares, so that when the stock does reverse, they can make a larger profit. All right, so that is a little bit about why you have to look at support as more of a range, right, than you do a fine line, right? Let me see, I forgot. Where is this one thing? Yeah, honestly, guys, I forgot like where the little box thing is that I'm looking for, so I can highlight it for you. But oh look, we got a little risk reward thing right here, but that's not what I was looking for. So anyways, yeah, support's in a range. Okay, so just always remember that. And that's it, guys. I just kind of wanted to go over that. I'm going to go over another video about short positions, and then I'll go into another video about a little bit more about the liquidity of things and liquidity sweeps. But I don't want to make this video too long or too complicated. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. So thank you very much and have a great day, guys.